When it comes to Biden running for president, I don't know if you guys have seen in the polls, Trump and Biden are neck and neck in the polls. Even some showing Trump beating Biden in major swing states. We're talking about like CNN polls. Is that shocking to you, or is that unsurprising?
Not really. Honestly, we like Trump, so.
You guys like Trump?
Yeah. So if he doesn't make it, I prefer Vivek.
It's not surprising, but it's sad.
No, it's not.
No, because I think at this point it's like the lesser of two evils.
Look at the cost of food. That alone is, the cost of food is up, but the amount of money going into Americans' pockets is not going up at the same time. I don't know who you're blaming for that.
Even in important swing states, we're not even talking about the national polls here. We're talking about important swing states. We're showing Trump even leading in some.
The election is won or lost is in the swing states. The other states are pretty much a given. So I think that it's interesting, and I think it's really because no other strong candidates have really emerged.
So you're saying that the polls are showing that Trump is beating Biden?
Yes.
So I'm not surprised. Trump was more coherent. And as much as I hate to admit it, economy-wise, we were doing a bit better.
First of all, gas prices, oil prices,
Yes.
everything prices, interest rates are high. I can't buy a car.
Trump is such a big liability. I don't think Democrats are shaking their boots. I mean, polls right now.
Yeah, a lot of polls are showing Trump actually beating Biden in major swing states. What do you think about that?
It's a year away from president. And
Well, it's been like that consistently for like the last year.
Yeah, but Americans don't realize how good the economy is.
My dad wants to buy a house, and interest rates are like 11% for a house. Never was like that before, ever.
8.5, but we're getting up there.
The problem with the economy is it's been too robust, and that's why we have inflation. And so I think a year from now, I think people are going to feel better about that.
Do you mind if I touch on that? Because that's one thing that we're talking about today. When it comes to median family income, it's been dropping every single year Biden's been president, and a lot of people are having to struggle with that.
When adjusted for inflation?
After adjusting for inflation.
Global. That's global.
If I had to put my money on it, I don't think Trump can win. I don't think he will win. It's astonishing to me that he's as far ahead as he is.
When it comes,
is untouchable.
Yeah, people like him. I mean, we talked to people today. I think a lot of the issues kind of stem from crime, the economy, gas prices, food prices. Inflation's obviously hurting Joe Biden. When you affect Americans' pocketbooks, that hurts people the most. I mean, Donald Trump really lost because of COVID, if we remember that. A lot of people in 2019, they didn't like Trump that much, except for in 2019, they had a lot of money, so they were relatively happy. Now, around the pandemic, and it ended up destroying stuff. But when people, it doesn't matter who is president, Republican or Democrat, if people are losing money, they're getting upset. You know what I mean?
Unfortunately, people know who the starting quarterback for the Eagles is going to be, but they don't know who their senators are.
Yeah.
We are woefully unaware of things. As long as that happens, it's how does the wind blow at that moment?
And our national security is seriously at risk. The border is a huge crisis.
Oh my gosh, we're a joke.
That we are just allowing people to come into our country that are invading, basically, and we're doing nothing about it.
Another major one for people is the border. When it comes to the border crisis that the
Isn't
Biden
Joe
administration,
Biden finishing the wall?
they were going to revamp a few parts, but
he put some federal money into it recently, I believe.
I mean, we have 2.6 million people coming across the southern border every single year.
With it,
and Trump was like 6 times less than that. So the crisis is out of control under Biden.
Did the wall get finished? Did Mexico ever pay for it? I forget. No, it didn't. He didn't finish it. It never got finished. Mexico never paid for it.
Well, if you have Democrats voting against that and it can't get through Congress, what would you want him to do? Would you want him to rule from the executive branch?
Like I said, I do believe Joe Biden has reached across the aisle to actually get work done.
We have all these things. You can say, okay, well, it's a global economy. That's a global issue. In the United States, we can do some stuff about it, right? You can do some stuff about it to reduce inflation. But when it comes to like the southern border, that's been a big problem for him. Is right now the right time to be allowing 10 million or 8 million illegal immigrants into the country with everything that's going on for U.S. citizens?
Do you understand that right now, Biden has been asking for a tripling in the amount of judges to go off and adjudicate these things so we don't have this backlog, but Congress has refused to provide that. So we can have a president that has a solution and wants to make things better, but he needs president doesn't do that much. Congress is the one which funds everything, and Hush!
I mean, he did sign executive orders pausing and stopping a lot of the immigration stuff that was going on under the Trump administration, right?
There's a limit to what you can do in executive orders, and probably there should be more limits on that. I mean, Congress should be doing their part.
But okay, so you're talking about still. I think you're still talking about allowing them in. I think a lot of people don't want to bring in 10 million people while everyone's wages are.
Workers.
Well, we have 330 million people in the country.
For every one unemployed person we have 1.4 jobs. We have, even if everybody who's unemployed had work, we would still be underemployed.
Yeah.
And so,
when it comes to these new immigrants, so we were talking about low wage work. It largely affects people of color in inner city communities and stuff like that.